15 seconds from Facebook.
Bum 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 dun 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 da 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 dum bum bum ba da da dun 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 bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba da da dum bum bum ba da da dun dun da dun da dun da dun dun da dun da dun dun da dun da da dum ba da dun da dun da dun dun da dun da dun dun bum ba da da ba da dun da dun 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 da dun da dun dun da dun da da dum ba da dun da dun 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 dun. Hello, my friends. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Here we are. So nice to see everyone. My name is Joette Calabrese for those who are new, and we do one thing and one thing only every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And that is I teach you what I know about homeopathy, and I love to see your response and what you know and what you have used because it is exciting for everyone to see, including me. I love to see how you are learning and what's going on in your life. And so, for those of you who already know me and you're here every week or many weeks, welcome, my friends. It's great to see you. I love to see everyone. Hi, Pam and Bonnie from Fort Myers, and I'm still trying to get onto Facebook. We are not getting on Facebook for some reason. And who else do we have? Kristen from Arizona. Welcome, my dear friends. It's great to see everyone. Still trying to get into Facebook. We're having some trouble tonight with Facebook, and I have to say, I'm going to be honest with you, my friends. I think we're being throttled. The numbers that we were reaching 7,000 plus people every week on just the blog, and that's been throttled down to, well, it went down to about 2,800. Now we're slowly working back up to 3,000. The numbers on Facebook have gone down considerably, and I'm sorry, I don't think it's because this is boring, because anyone who loves homeopathy would love at least doing this from time to time. So I'm going to tell you, if you have friends who are interested in this, please share it with them. We want to get our numbers back up. We want more people interested in homeopathy, because the more who are interested, the better our world will be. And so that you know, my friends, I don't cash in on this. I do this because I just want people to know about it. I think it's important that homeopathy thrive. And I don't know how long I'll be doing this. I plan on doing it for as long as I can. But there comes a time in someone's life when they back off from doing as much as I do, because of course we have our academy. And for those of you who are new to this and have never joined any of my study groups, I cannot encourage you enough to join my study groups. That's Gateway to Homeopathy. And join with a study group teacher, because you will learn so much more. These are online most often. And look, we're still not on Facebook. Still not happening. Nope. That's a shame. Well, tonight we're going to talk about fats, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to get out my repertory. This is Robin Murphy's repertory here, and I'm going to get this out right here. It's the Meta Repertory, the 4th edition, and I look up under food, fats, because that's our subject tonight, and I'm going to point it out to you. It's right there, fats, and then there's a sub-rubric down here that says this is ailments from fat, or aversion to fats, and this is ailments from fats. Lots of medicines here. We have a good number of them. I'm not going to tackle all of them, of course. I'm going for those medicines that are the most common. When someone tells me that they can't eat fats, then I want to know, so to what happens to that person? Are you talking about nausea, bloating, vomiting, indigestion? All of that matters. And so I'm going to, we're going to go through a couple of them. But first, I want to say hello to some of my friends. Still not getting on Facebook. All right, here I see everyone. Okay, hello from Tennessee, says Kathy, and Pam from Colorado, and Okie. Okie, what a great name. And from Wichita. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Harry. Hi, Tina. And Nancy and PJKW. And Myrna. Carenza, that's right, Carenza. Pretty name, Trisha. Deborah from Wichita. It's wonderful to see you all. It is great. So, I told you about my gateway to homeopathy. I do want to encourage you to consider that strongly if you haven't done so, because once you join a gateway, then you can get into purchasing more online courses. And the beauty of that is when you buy as a group, there's a substantial discount. I believe it's 40% discount when you purchase as a group for any of my more intensified courses, such as Good Gut, Bad Gut, which would be appropriate for tonight's studying, and feminopathy. We talk about women's issues, etc., etc. All right, let's get into the subject at hand, shall we? Let's talk about fats and when fats are a problem. So for some people, fats are a problem all the time. For other people, it only happens occasionally. And for others, it happens when it's the wrong fats. Now, for those of you who don't know this, the wrong fats are seed oils. We do not eat anything, my friends, with seed oils. That's canola, mazola, Motorola, all of those made up names. Canola is one of the worst. Soy oil, bad. The fats we want are very infrequently vegetable fats. Olive oil, good. But the problem with olive oil is it's very hard to find real olive oil. They can say expeller pressed, extra virgin, cold pressed olive oil till the cows come home. It's been shown time and again that many of the olive oils that are being sold as that are olive oils that have been mixed with other oils. So I don't even use olive oil any longer. And I have a lot of it in my house. Now, I'm going to say that sometimes I'll buy from, say, Joseph Mercola, from very trusted source. That's different. And I'll put it on a salad, but I don't even eat salads very often because I feel so strongly about fats and animal fats and how important animal fats are that I eat very few salads, although I do enjoy them, but I spend more time eating butter and eggs and beef and lamb. I cook with lard and tallow. Those are the fats that I believe are the most nutritious. I've been eating this way for many years. And I stay away from when I go out to dinner with my husband. I ask for my vegetables to be just steamed, and then I ask for butter on the side, and then I put butter on top of my steamed vegetables. I don't eat a salad, as I said, or if I do eat a salad, I ask for it without salad dressing because although they will tell you that, oh, we use olive oil. Okay. I'm afraid I've become tainted in my older years. And so I have actually been known to bring my own salad dressing with olive oil that I indeed fully trust. And I put it in a little bottle. And then I put my lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, or raw vinegar in there and add some salt and shake it all up. And then I keep that in my purse. But I just don't have salads that often, to be honest. So the fats that we want to eat are the ones that most people think are not good for them, although you are of a different ilk, my friends. You are a different bunch. You folks understand more about nutrition than most. And so I feel pretty strongly that we should be eating as much butter as many times people say to me, "Oh, I eat butter." No, 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 it's not that you eat butter. You want to consume butter. You want to dine with butter or dine on butter. I think it's very important that we eat a good amount of butter, a good amount of lard, good amount of tallow. Bacon fat. Oh, yes, my friends. Oh, yes, bacon fat. Very, very nutritious food. So some people can't do it though. They can't eat that way. And so that's what we want to approach right now. We want to go after this with specific medicines. Now, when I look at my repertory, the most common are Nux vomica, Carboveg, Arsenicum, Pulsatilla. Let's start with Pulsatilla, okay? Because most people who own any homeopathic medicines at all own Pulsatilla because it's in all kits, and it's a remedy that is people don't realize one of the really coolest aspects of Pulsatilla is that it's great for ailments from restaurant food. Now, what the heck does that mean? I mean, which restaurant? Are we talking about a high-end restaurant that's all organic? Are we talking about a restaurant that is that's McDonald's or something? What we mean by that is foods that are bothersome to us that we're not accustomed to, or foods that have the wrong fats, such as canola, mazola, cottonseed oil, those kinds of oils. But the person craves creamy foods. This person who needs pulsatilla adores ice cream and yogurt. Yogurt is also, I think, a very good food. And when it's real yogurt, the whole full fat. They want cream. They want whipped cream. They love cheese, but they crave that, and sometimes it just doesn't sit well. Too much ice cream, even if it's raw cream that you've made at home. But let's say it's store bought ice cream, and this person is not going to eat the way I just suggested. They eat pretty much standard American diet, but when they have ice cream, they get sick. And what's interesting about it is that they often get sick not immediately. It's after having eaten it. The next day, they eat ice cream on Saturday night, Sunday morning, they feel sick. So, is it the fats or is it the store bought aspect of it? Well, either way, pulsatilla would act. And I think pulsatilla is one of those underused medicines because people believe that pulsatilla should be specifically for only those who are little girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. No, it's an interesting concept, but it is not so. I use pulsatilla for people who are men in their 70s who have dark hair, they have dark eyes, but they eat at a restaurant, they don't feel well. Now, what else is really incredible about pulsatilla is that it is not only ailments from restaurant food, but also ailments from eating fats. And if there's that element of someone who kind of craves it and still has trouble with it. But there's one more aspect of pulsatilla that I love, and that is we don't need to use it a lot. And it can be used even before going to the restaurant. You're going out for ice cream. You're not paying any attention to what I said about what kind of fats to eat. You're eating conventional ice cream. But look, you're going out with your kids or your grandkids or out on a date, and you're not going to deny yourself. And I totally get that. Completely, thoroughly get that. But you don't want nausea or stomach cramps or bloating afterwards. Then you simply get your pulsatilla 30 and you take it just before you go out. And perhaps if you can sneak another dose, you don't want to show everybody you're doing it. We don't want to show our sufferings and what we do unless we're trying to teach someone. Of course, that's a little different. But the idea is that you take it so that you don't suffer. And it may work like magic. If it doesn't, then we go ahead and utilize it time and again after that. Maybe after the ice cream, maybe every couple of hours until bedtime. And then see if we can get the pulsatilla to act before it would normally, the ice cream would normally cause trouble the next day, say at 10 in the morning. That's pulsatilla. It can also be for indigestion that comes from that, or bloating that comes from eating too much dairy, or it can be from cheese, eating pork. Someone who suffers from eating, let's say they've gone out for pork ribs. Oh my gosh, I love this so much, but I'm going to suffer the next day. Take the pulsatilla before. If you don't think of it, take the pulsatilla right after. If you don't think of it until you get sick the next day, take it then. You take it whenever you think to use it. If you can head it off at the pass, then by all means do that, and then use it the night before, or just before eating, I mean. All righty. Let's go on to our next medicine. Yes, canola used to be called rapeseed oil, yes, but they changed the name to market it to the masses. And you know where they marketed it first? Does anyone remember what aspect of the retail industry got hit with this canola oil the heaviest and first? See if anyone knows this. It was a big butter bashing. Yeah, there was a time when they bashed butter. Fascinating, isn't it? You know, they used to teach us that we should be eating a low fat diet. Low fat diet. Don't eat fats. Eat fat free. Don't eat fats. And now they've backtracked a little bit, but they don't talk about that you should be eating fats. They just pretend they never said the other part of it. So yeah, we're still not on Facebook. We're not getting on. It's not coming up. That's a shame. I guess it'll have to show up in a delay. All right, let's see what else we have. Let's see if anyone knows where rapeseed oil, which was then renamed to canola oil, was where it was focused. And the reason that I know this is because I felt as though I was one of the prime targets. That's why so many women looked like prunes from not having their fats. You got it. You got it. Yep. Yeah, it wasn't rapeseed created as a machine oil. I don't know that. It may have been. Let's see if anyone knows what aspect of the retail market was hit first and for a long period of time before it got to the general public, the overall general public. Okay, while we're waiting to hear about that, let's talk about the next medicine. The next medicine that I love for this is lycopodium. Now, lycopodium has an elements from fats, but it also has elements from many other foods, and we don't always know what's causing it. We don't know necessarily that it is a fat that's causing it. Now, sometimes we do know because the person has indigestion and they can taste it. There's a backwash, and they can taste it as from an oil. Now, I have to tell you, you got it, Antoinette. You've got it, my dear. Health food stores. Canola oil was directed to the health food community. It was in health food stores. It still is. But I remember actually buying canola oil from my food co-op back in the early 80s, and I would buy it by the case. Oh, yes, my friends. That's how foolish I was back in those days. Health food stores is where canola was promulgated. So, what was I saying? Lycopodium, indigestion, if it repeats. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Some people don't have any trouble with real oils, with real fats, butter, lard, tallow, etc. They only have trouble with industrialized fats. And then I would move a little more towards the pulsatilla idea, if that were so. But it doesn't mean that if they have big fat bloat, which is so common with the need for lycopodium, that we wouldn't automatically go to lycopodium. So lycopodium is a trusted remedy, particularly when there's big bloat, indigestion, burping, and especially if it's a more chronic condition. Whereas it's not just the fats, it can be just the fact that the person just ate that we see a reaction with bloating and gas. And sometimes I don't hear so much about pain with lycopodium, although the person who needs lycopodium can have pain. It is more too much pressure. Feels like I've eaten too much when I've eaten so little. I just don't feel well. It feels like my belly is going to explode. And sometimes it actually looks like that too. The belly looks Buddha-ish. All righty. So lycopodium, and I use lycopodium in a 200. I like to use it 200 twice daily. Now let's talk about another medicine, and then I'm going to show you how we mix these two. Another medicine, ailments from eating fats, is also one of my favorite all-time medicines, arsenicum album. Arsenicum. Now, this can be the kind of reaction that the person eats the food and then shortly after they have pain. They have foods with oils in them, even good oil, butter, yogurt, vegetables that have been sauteed in bacon fat. It's good oils, and yet then they have pain shortly after. That is more often arsenicum album. And so what we talk about with these medicines is the importance of yes, thank you. We're going to be talking about gallbladders in a minute. The importance of potency. So when I say pulsatilla 30 for restaurant foods or as a preventative, when you're going to be eating fats, I like 30. Doesn't mean we can't use a 200, but I usually start with 30. Then I also like lycopodium in a 200. It's not even about liking. Lycopodium is very specific for this condition in a 200. Then we're talking about arsenicum. This is the way I want you to remember arsenicum. Arsenicum 3, look at the 3, and it looks like a profile of a woman. Actually looks like a profile of a woman who's pregnant. Breast and then big belly. Now the breast has nothing to do with it. I'm just using that as an image so that you can picture it in your mind. Arsenicum 3 because of the big belly. So you don't have to have a big belly. All you have to have is a belly pain. And especially worse from just having eaten. And especially worse from fats. And especially if there's burning or vomiting or nausea, then we're going to be talking about we're going to be considering arsenicum more frequently. Now, let's say arsenicum is used for an acute situation. This is something the person just went out, they just ate. They normally, they have this problem once in a while, but now they're in an acute setting. We're going to use this arsenicum 3 and I say this guardedly. I just gave you the example of when we use it. When it is an acute situation, it's not a chronic that they're having on a regular basis. It's an acute situation, vomiting, nausea, burning. Doesn't have to have all of these, but any one of these. Worse, just after having eaten, we're going to use arsenicum 3 this is what I'm saying guardedly, every 15 minutes for an hour. Now, if after the first dose, the person falls asleep, then we don't need to repeat it. Or if you've given one dose and the person says, I think I'm better. Or you give 2 doses and that happens. Or by the 3rd dose that happens. We stop when the medicine has acted. Now let's say it hasn't acted. It's every 15 minutes and it's still not acting. We've gone a full hour like this. I would still push it a little bit further. I would still go another second hour, only maybe open it up instead of every 15 minutes, maybe every 30 minutes. But I would still push the envelope, so to speak, particularly if you've got this line up of all of these conditions. Absolutely. Okay. That is arsenicum, one of our all-time favorites for anything gastrointestinal. Or now let's go to chelidonium. Thank you, Leanne. And you're right, chelidonium 6X is amazing. It is one of our best medicines. It's for a fatty liver. It's for no gallbladder. It's for abdominal pain, especially upper abdominal pain. It's for liver pain, for fatty liver, for, and you may not know you have a fatty liver until you've maybe had that tested, but you'll know. You don't really need to have it tested. You know that every time you eat these fats or anything in which there is a response that I just described, upper pain, gallbladder, upper abdomen pain, excuse me, nausea, all of those kinds of conditions, then we're going to use chelidonium 6, and we use it in twice daily, because these are the people who often have this condition that's more chronic. And because it's a chronic condition, because they don't have a gallbladder, or they have a fatty liver, or this is a problem that has been occurring in their lives for some time, then we're going to use it daily. We're not going to break it down into every 15 minutes. That's only for an acute situation. So we're going to assume that this person has been suffering from this for a while, because that is generally the way it presents. All righty, let's see what questions we've got here. The reason I want to point out that rapeseed oil or canola oil was first sold in health food stores and in food co-ops is because I want you to be careful of that. These companies are not stupid. They know that those people who frequent health food stores and buy from co-ops are looking for other methods. And that's where the soy industry started. That's where it all began. Tofu. You don't think they were selling tofu at the gourmet stores? They weren't selling tofu when it first came out in the conventional grocery stores. No way. It was in the health food stores. How about soy milk? How about soy dogs? All of those kinds of foods are all tested on those of us who have been interested in health for a very long time. Yes, how about FCLO? Cod liver oil, fermented cod liver oil. Thank you for bringing that up. Fermented. My friends, no fermented cod liver oil. Cod liver oil, acceptable, quite good in the winter if you live up north, but not fermented. Dr. Weston Price never discussed fermented oils, and that's where much of that was coming from. And you can overdo cod liver oil, so be very careful of that, my friends. That can cause trouble. It can cause trouble for the liver if it's not used judiciously. So I prefer, instead of taking cod liver oil, which I used to use, I used to take for years, gave it to my children, even gave it to my dog and cat. I prefer buying cod livers, the actual liver itself, in a little can, a little, kind of like a sardine can. And I eat those. I don't eat a lot, just one little liver. They're quite delicious. I know that sounds grotesque to people. Don't, just give it a try should you be interested. And I buy from King Oscar. It's in its own oil. And when I make egg salad, I'll mix in a couple of cod livers in that. I don't do it every time. I don't need to, because my diet is very, very nutrient dense. I eat a lot of oysters. I eat a lot of grass-fed beef and pastured pork. I eat a lot of eggs that are pasture raised. So I have a pretty nutrient dense diet. So I don't need to have a lot of it. I only need a little bit, and I know when I want it, because I find myself craving a cod liver. I find myself, I eat raw oysters every week, at least 6, sometimes a dozen. I eat clams. I eat shrimp. I eat all of those crustaceans, and a lot of them. So I urge you to think about that, my friends. If you're worried about eating those kinds of things, do read up from the Weston Price Foundation's website. I don't agree with everything they say, because I know they still talk about fermented cod liver oil, but 95%, 99% of what they discuss is is, as far as I'm concerned, excellent information. What if you never crave anything? Good question, Leanne. I just eat it anyway because I know I should. But I do know when I've had enough. If I have 3 cod livers, I'm uncomfortable. It's too much. No, I don't necessarily. I do follow my cravings. However, I also have to tell you, I crave sweets, and I have to fight that. I have to really work hard to keep from eating sweets because I can easily overdo it. I find that when I crave chocolate, that is a sign that I probably need liver, either beef or chicken or cod liver, etc. So I have to be cognizant of that. I think we're there, my friends. We never got on Facebook. It just didn't show up tonight. I don't mind just meeting with you. It's a joy. It's wonderful communicating with you. God bless all of you. Mwah! Polish your understanding of homeopathy to a gleam. Make this an important focus of your life because with this comes freedom. Good health is freedom. And so I urge you to carry on and learn as much as you can. Make it your pleasure at night before you go to bed. And with that, I say, God bless all of you. Bye now.